Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.
What's up, man?
It's been a while. I feel like we ain't recording like ages, man. What's up, man?
Last week was a rough week, man.
It was Valentine's Day.
It was Valentine's Day, and I was having a hard time, man, with the Super Bowl loss, man.
I almost forgot, man.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it too much, but
yeah, where's my phone at, yo? I promise you, I don't have no tricks.
It's right there.
No, it's the other one. All right, nonetheless. I promise you, I don't have no tricks for you today. I don't got nothing crazy. I ain't got nothing crazy. I don't got nothing. No, but seriously. Well, here's the thing. Shout out to you. You know, you were a good sport. I think you were partly like collateral damage for some people. And you know, I thought it was a good game. Did you think? I mean, you know.
No, I thought it was a good game. I thought we played as well as we played all season.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that I've got to like just digest the loss and just be realistic. Patrick Mahomes is a guy.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
So I agree. I think Patrick Mahomes is that dude. He's like no other. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. I spoke to some other people on another show about him, and you know, I ain't gonna call a guy Patrick Mahomes hater, but if you want to try and dissect his performances in each Super Bowl and say he ain't had that great of a game and whatever you want to say, at the end of the day, you look like a hater because he made the plays when he had to. You know, you can't compare, you know, Joe Montana, going 11 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions in the Super Bowls. I mean, you can't compare that, really. I mean, that's fine. I don't even think Joe Montana would say that he's better than Patrick Mahomes.
I don't think anybody remembers Trent Dilfer's stats when.
Right.
The Ravens was that 2000 Ravens won the Super Bowl.
Oh, it's right here.
You know, at the end of the day, I don't think anybody cared, right?
Right.
And if he's won 3 Super Bowls and he has won 3 Super Bowls, nobody is going to remember, hey, you know, the first half, they pretty much kept him in check. Or who cares? Yeah, nobody cares about that stuff. I would trade all that for a Super Bowl victory. So, I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is. You know, shout out to No. Very misfortunate what happened, you know, with the parade.
That sucked.
That sucked. And I really want to give them my winner of the week, but I just really think that was tough just to take that celebration away from those people and just all the injured people. So, you know, prayers to all the families. And, you know, I saw like a lot of people donated and
right.
It's like they're going to charge both of those individuals as adults.
As they should.
Yeah, as they should. But that was a very misfortunate situation.
Yeah, I think that, you know, going to that, I don't really want to like get too much into that because that was really that was crazy. Like, you know, there's kids out there, is nobody that has, that's a whole nother subject. People are going to bring up, the gun law. I don't even want to talk about that, right? What I do want to talk about, though, is the game. Cause hear me out. Cause I could have been real mean. I could have been like, you know what? I'm gonna replay what I said. You know, the Wednesday before the Super Bowl. And as much as I said that, and I wanted to see that as it was happening, I ain't gonna lie to you, yo. I felt bad for you. I didn't want to call you. I didn't call you. I was like, I felt bad. I was like, yo, this can't be real, yo.
Let me tell you, yo. I knew it was bad because so the Michigan game, people were talking mess.
Right.
There's a lot of smack talk. That Monday, not a soul called me. My parents, none of my friends, none of my
Hey man,
it was bad, and I took that Monday off because if I come in, I am not going to be in my right mind. Either way,
right.
Because I already know I drank way too much, and we lost. I'm not going to be able to bear and anybody. So it was a dark Monday.
Oh my God!
Problems sleeping. And it was bad. I felt like I had played that game. I didn't want to watch any ESPN. I didn't listen to any analysis of the game. It was bad, man.
I will say this. I feel like y'all. I won't say y'all got like lucky. I won't even say got let off the hook. What I will say is y'all lucky that y'all weren't the Cowboys.
So, okay, so I'll agree with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of different factors. Because it was Patrick Mahomes, and people are starting to realize, and people have realized for a while that this guy is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it all plays out and when it's all said and done, I don't know if he'll pass Tom Brady, right? Because this is tall.
That's 7 Super Bowls is crazy.
Is a tall order, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to even be in that conversation where it's becoming a debate whether or not he's the baby goat or the goat, but it is the actual debate.
Yeah,
I think we probably got a pass because it was Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Had that been Lamar Jackson or some of the other teams, the narrative might have been slightly different.
So, I'll say this. I feel like the 49ers got what in the world? Look at that, yo. I feel like the 49ers got like I don't want to say let off the hook, right? But I'm here, so I'm not gonna allow that to happen, right? So with that being said, let me ask you, because I told y'all it's more gonna be like an interview. Because and trust me, everybody, we're gonna get to the thing that they call the NBA All-Star game and that. But right now we're gonna recap Super Bowl. I know it's been a week and a half. I don't care.
You just hell bent on hashing out these old wounds, right?
Yes. Yes. So the Super Bowl happened, and it is what y'all lost. But let me go back because I want to ask you this. Because I was going to ask you about where you go from here, but how does it feel not winning the Super Bowl since the Cowboys won the last Super Bowl? How does that feel? Because you always hear, y'all ain't won since '96, right? That's what we always hear. But as a Cowboys fan, that's the only thing I got to like come at you on. It's like, shoot, we won a Super Bowl more recently than y'all won a Super Bowl. How does that make you feel?
That actually doesn't make me feel bad.
Okay.
What makes me feel a little leery is what else do we need? And what are the odds of us having that opportunity again? Because the way I look at football is it's just really tough to get to the Super Bowl, right? You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be able to just go back unless you have a generational talent like a Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. And there's been others, but typically, you know, like players, they go their whole career, and that might be the only time that they make a Super Bowl appearance.
That's true.
Let alone twice. So I felt, and I think we talked about this, that was our best opportunity to win. And then you look at the timeline of, you know, 2020, 2019 season, 2024. If you do everything right, 4 years is a pretty aggressive timetable to even be back there, right? So I look at it as our team had everything. I don't think that a lot of blame should have been placed on the defensive coordinator. I know that.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I know that he kind of got some blame, and he shouldn't have got that blame. I felt like we did everything we could, and we came up short. I mean, sometimes you could be in a perfect scheme, you got a perfect game plan, but my old football coach used to say, I just need players to make plays. Like I'm going to script up the play,
right?
But sometimes the back just has to turn the corner,
right?
Make something happen,
right?
The quarterback, you might just need to hold the ball a little bit longer, make the throw, and I feel like when you're playing against Mahomes, that's the type of thing that you have to expect. Like you could be in the perfect defense, but it doesn't mean that he's not going to make the play.
I agree. So this is not coming from me. This is coming from our good friend Phil. These thumbs up is kind of weird. So does it bother you to have lost 3 Super Bowls since 2010? How do you feel about that?
No. So I want to tell you why.
Really?
I want to tell you why it doesn't bother me.
Wow.
Because of how hard it takes to get there. You know what I mean? This is the one that bothered me the most because I felt like we were that close, and I don't know when we'll have the opportunity to get back. But I mean,
that really makes me smile. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah. That was a rough way to lose. But I mean, the one in 2010, the Ravens were the better team. And the one in 2000.
No, it was 12. It was 12, 19, and 23.
But that Ravens team was like a team of destiny. Like Joe Flacco went on a run with that group. It was Ray, you know, they rallied around Ray Lewis, and it was one of his last.
I think that was his last game. It was his last game. Well, him and Ed Reed, right? I don't think they played again after that.
I think Ed Reed might have played. I mean,
possibly, yeah.
To like a Ravens fan, so you know that one didn't really bother me. The 2019 irritated me because that Super Bowl I walked in thinking, not that it was one of those Super Bowls you think of as like, okay, I want my team to win, but we could be beat.
Right.
So that
you felt like you went into that game feeling like the underdog.
Yeah. But to be up in the fourth quarter and to have the 10-point lead, it was like, okay, you know, but there's a lot of belief in the coach. This one irritated me a little bit more because I didn't get concerned until we got the OT.
Oh, when I got the OT, I knew it was over.
When OT happened, I was like,
When they didn't take the ball, I said. I mean, when they took the ball, I said, "Oh, this is over."
Yeah, the whole game, I felt like we dominated the game, and I felt like we figured out and we did what we needed to do. When we got the OT, I was like, "It's a strong possibility we're gonna lose this game." And when we went down the field and only kicked the field goal, and something happened, and I saw it before it happened. I was telling them. It was a 4th down, and it just reminisced of, and I think I was telling you this, we had a lot of opportunities getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down all season. And I think I even said it before. I said it's going to come down to the defense, and I was like, look, either they stop them here The game's over. But all season, we had not been stopping anybody on third and fourth down.
That's true. I remember we went to go see the Eagles game, and you kept on bringing that up. Third downs.
Well, it killed us against the Packers.
Yeah.
I mean, they were converting like 3rd and 22s, 3rd and 19s. I was like, this is what we need. We need to stop. And when we didn't get that stop, I said, man, this is
trouble. Yeah. So I'll say this. 49ers are a good team. Me personally, I think that I'm interested to see what moves and how they're gonna, do everything. Because Ayuk, we saw all that happen after the game. He was tripping. I don't know, but I mean, you got a lot of decisions to make. What is Trent Williams going to do? Because let's go back to Trent. Oh my gosh, Trent Williams, Mr. Big Bully, Big Bad Trent. Oh my God, Trent Williams got his ass whooped in that. That might be the worst game I've ever seen Trent Williams play. And he's been in the league for quite some time. I've seen him against DeMarcus Ware, and DeMarcus Ware just completely dominated him, right? Not like in the Super Bowl when those guys were he was getting manhandled.
It's a good defense.
It's great defense.
Yeah, it's a great defense. And we talked about that. I mean, it is an underrated defense.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that Mahomes is going to be there for a while, because if they can keep that defense together, they're going to get him receivers. And
Now they have questions as well. L'Jarius Sneed, even Chris Jones. If I'm them, and we could talk about that now. We could move on from.
So back to your other question, real quick.
Okay.
I think we'll go back to the drawing board. One thing that I have a lot of confidence in our team is we draft well, and John Lynch.
Yeah.
We draft well, right? All those guys, basically, other than Trent Williams, are homegrown. They're guys that we drafted and we've developed, and we've been able to duplicate success. And I mean, I know that's tough for you to hear. But
I mean, I just remember trading a ton of picks for Trey Lance.
Yeah, but how do you still get to the Super Bowl with a mistake like that? You had to draft it well on your other picks.
I wouldn't say, okay, yes.
So
your secondary isn't homegrown. Shadarius Ward was actually got drafted by the Chiefs. Who's the other?
I didn't mean every single player.
Okay,
but
I got you.
All the stars, all the people that you're mentioning that, other than
McCaffrey, Trent Williams,
Armstead, Warner, what's his name? Greenlaw, Ayuk.
That was a big
Debo,
loss.
Kettle, like all those guys were drafted by
that's true. That's true. I mean, but that's from and don't take this the wrong way, but that's from sucking for so long. I mean, y'all had some real tough seasons.
I would disagree, right?
Wait, what?
I want to tell you why I would disagree. For sucking for so long, that's when we got the Willises. That's when Kaepernick came in there. That's when Navarro Bowman was in there. That's when Vernon Davis was in there.
Vernon Davis was those were trades. Alex Smith was a Vernon Davis. Y'all drafted Vernon Davis.
You drafted Vernon Davis. That was Crabtree. That whole trio of players for sucking for so long is gone. That was the Trent Baalke, the Scott years. But after that, those guys, they rebuilt all that team. Warner, Greenlaw.
I get that. Yeah, but remember. So Shanahan's been there 7 years now, right? He got there 2016, 20.
It might have been like 27.
So his first few years in San Francisco weren't that great, right?
His first year wasn't that great, but then his second year.
Is that when he got Bosa?
He traded.
No. He didn't get Bosa. He didn't get Bosa
for Garoppolo.
Right. I thought that was the first year.
No, that was the second.
That was the second year. Okay, the second year he got Garoppolo.
Yeah, and then the third year he ended up in the Super Bowl. So I mean, and then he's had a lot of NFC like that team. You can't take away from them. They drafted those players. I have faith. I mean, people throw the Trey Lance out there, but when you have that type of success as a GM and as a coach, you got to tip your hat off to it.
So y'all back in the Super Bowl next year?
No, I think we're going to develop our team. We'll go back to the drawing board. I don't think we're going to be able to sign all the players, and I think.
So what happens with Ayuk?
I don't know.
What would you do? Well, I'm asking, what would you do? We in Madden franchise mode right now. What would you do with Ayuk?
I keep Ayuk.
Oof, he gonna want a big payday. So here's the thing, because you got Ayuk, do you move on from Debo?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, it's a numbers game, right? And you look at the age, and you look at he's going to want a big payday, but it's clear for anybody that watched the offense this year, Ayuk and McCaffrey. Kittle had an
he was all pro,
season.
yeah. So let me ask you this: do you go get Kirk Cousins, or you stick with Brock Purdy?
You stick with Brock Purdy.
Okay. I mean,
Kirk Cousins. I mean, he wants fully guaranteed money. And the Vikings, they're not going to give it to him.
I think his fully guaranteed days are over. Yeah, you ruptured your Achilles, buddy. and granted, he's back. He's dancing on was that NFL honors he was doing. So I give him that. But no, them fully guaranteed days, it's a wrap for that. You ain't getting that no more, man. So, but all right, I mean, it's gonna be interesting because that division is getting better, but I want to see what happens with Greenlaw. He might not even play next season, and if he does, it'll be towards the late. And I think honestly, losing Greenlaw is bigger than what people were trying to make it. Like that ain't because as soon as he went out, that backup comes in. And they attack him. Attack every third down.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about arguably two of the best combo of linebackers in the NFL. I mean, there's some other tandems out there that you could argue is maybe in the same stratosphere, maybe better, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
But they're one of the best, and I think most people will put them in their top three tandem in the NFL. And
I got him at number one.
I have him at number one too, but I think that there's other combos that may.
All right, my last question. Does it feel bad being called the California Cowboys?
No. And look, hear me out on this. I know a lot of people get irritated with this. Really, other than the Chiefs, every other fan base is in the same boat. So I kind of feel like
Nah, you can't get away with that, buddy.
No, I can because so look, right. We were
I
in
hear
the
you.
Super Bowl. We lost, but trash from other fans that have not won anything. It's kind of like a roll.
This sounds so. Keep going. This sounds so familiar. No. Keep expounding on what you're saying.
No, so look, right. So after my Monday, I had a Bills fan hit me up and tell me like, "Yo, you guys are the new us." Okay, like really? That's all you got from a Bills fan? A Bills fan had the nerve to tell me, "Hey, you guys are the new Bills." What?
Hey, can I say something, man? Can I say something? Scott, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to hear that. You know why? Because when I sat on this nice brown couch 2 months ago and said, "Yo, Scott, it might have been even 3 months ago." I said, man, this Commander fans talking and Giants fans talking trash to me after we lost. I forget who we might have lost to Miami. I forget who we lost to. The Cowboys lost. And you know what your words were?
What did I say?
It's the Cowboys. You just got to deal with it. You should expect that from that. And I'm like, why? When your team sucks, who do you think you are to talk trash to me?
But that goes back to my further point is. It doesn't bother me. Now, what does bother me is we're in the same boat as everybody now. I mean, that's what bothers me the most. It is, we lost, but now it's all right, they won.
Hey,
Now
look.
it's back the next season, so you don't hold those bragging rights. When your team is still in the playoffs and other teams are not, you hold a different level of, I don't even want to say shit talking, but yeah, you could talk a little bit of shit. So once your team loses, it's like you're back with everybody else.
You're back in the pool. You're back in gym pop.
Right.
You're back in gym pop. Yeah, no. So I agree there, right? Like the fact that I had Commander fans talking trash to me this year, it was ridiculous, like crazy. So anyway, I feel like all jokes aside, I feel like the 49ers played a damn good game. I don't know who your winner of the week is, but if it ain't,
I think we already touched upon the guys on the parade. But who you got, man?
All right, let's go. We gotta do it right.
No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner. No, you're a winner.
How are you, buddy?
So you ain't got nobody.
I was going to talk about the guys in the parade, but I wanted to first.
Yeah. I don't, because I feel like the guys in the parade, they don't deserve the attention that we're going. I feel like they pieces of crap, and they don't deserve to have to for us to even talk about them. I don't even know their names, and I don't plan on knowing their names. But my winner of the week this week, because we didn't record last week, and it ain't you. I wouldn't dare do that to you. It ain't you. My winner of the week is Kyle Shanahan. Mr. Shanahan, the son of Mike. I don't know what his siblings' names are, but I would call their ass out too. But Kyle Shanahan is the winner of the week this week and last week, even though we didn't do the show. So he's a double winner. And the reason is all right. You fire Steve Wilkes, right? And if he wasn't a good fit, then he wasn't a good fit. But he's the one that hired him. Nobody else said hire Steve Wilkes. So not only do you kind of like make him out to be the scapegoat, but you look at the way he pretty much treated Steve Wilkes the way what's the coach for the Broncos? Sean Payton. The way Sean Payton treated Russell Wilson. And I didn't like that either. But when they had the 3-game losing streak, you guys had the 3-game losing streak, the 49ers offense averaged 17 points a game. You scored 17 points 3 straight games, right? And you lost all 3 of those games. So what did you do? You blamed the defensive coordinator, even though, you if you only score 17 points and you're getting sacked and you turn the ball over, you can blame the defense if you want to. I get that. It is what it is. But you put the sole blame for that 3-game losing streak on a defensive coordinator and tell him to come out of the booth, right? And whether he needed to come out of the booth or not doesn't really matter, right? But the fact that you went into the media and ultimately put the blame on him, again, he probably didn't make enough adjustments, which I could tell he probably could have made some adjustments a lot sooner. But offensively, there weren't any adjustments made, right? To only score 17 points per game when you were averaging damn near 30 the first 5 or so games, whatever. Then I forget which game was it, the Christmas game? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but where he's literally letting Steve Wilkes have it on the sideline in front of the cameras, in front of the players for whatever reason. So there's clearly some whatever. Then in the Super Bowl, now let's get to the Super Bowl. And before we get to this Super Bowl 58, let's go back to Super Bowl 54, right? That was 2019 season. And again, you had a 10-point lead, in the fourth quarter, and you decide you want to keep on passing the ball. You don't want to run the ball. Let's go back. And you give up the lead, you lose the Super Bowl. Let's go back a little further. Actually, the funny thing is, I just sent Scott a picture of when we were watching the Super Bowl with Atlanta, and you have a 28-3 lead, and you are the OC. And all you really need to do is run the ball and take some time off the clock. Even if you don't score, you're taking time off the clock. They can't do whatever it is that they're doing. And what happens is they give up the lead. They give up the lead and they lose the Super Bowl. So fast forward now to Super Bowl 58. You have a 10-point lead, and you know, let's be honest. Yes, Christian McCaffrey fumbled. Yes, you know, in the second half, Chris Jones, you know, he's all pro. He's probably, if he's not the best interior D lineman, he's the second best, right? So those things are going to happen. But the fact that you didn't use Eli Mitchell that much, I think Eli Mitchell might have had 4 carries. The fact that you didn't get Christian McCaffrey on the perimeter more, even after he fumbled, you know, it is what it is. The fact that Brandon Ayuk was non-existent and George Kittle was non-existent, and Deebo Samuel, although he was hurt, was non-existent.
God damn, I thought we weren't going to talk about the Super
No.
Bowl.
It's about Kyle Shanahan. I'm sorry. You just got to. But the fact that those guys, and you're the offensive coordinator, and you're the guy that's supposed to put these guys in position to put the game away, you didn't do that. But instead, you want to blame Steve Wilkes, the defensive coordinator, and whether you liked him or not is on him because he's the one that hired him.
So I agree with everything that you're saying. I'm just going to wrap this up. It wouldn't have mattered if we would have won the Super Bowl. I believe Steve Wilkes would have lost his job. The tension has been there all season.
Yeah.
And it does rust at Kyle, right? Kyle hired him. It is what it is.
Yep.
It was a bad fit from the beginning of the season.
And that's
he
fine.
He coached his butt off in the Super Bowl.
He did.
I'll give him that. I don't think he could have made many adjustments, and it's wrong to scapegoat him.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless, he was going to be out. It was not working because the brand of football Steve Wilkes plays is totally different from the way that we play. Now, again, I've got to rest that on the coach. It was a bad hire. And it had really nothing to do with Steve Wilkes. It's the brand of football on defense we want to play and the fit to what he was accustomed to. And it's just, he's a blitz guy.
Right.
He likes to send blitz.
Yeah.
He likes to disguise his coverages. He likes he has basic concepts that he wanted to install.
Yeah.
And because of the pressure of, we were in a win now situation. I think had the team been in a situation where, okay, yeah, it's a playoff team, but we didn't go all in. We're just hoping for the best. Maybe they would have allowed him to kind of like tweak it. But they wanted him to come in and run the same system, and it just wasn't going to work. It wasn't his strength. Now, the timing of it, a little awkward. And you're right? Kyle Shanahan has a lot to blame. I'll end this, right? As much as you pointed out, still riding with my coach.
I get it.
There, I believe he's the guy.
Can he get over the hump? Because that's the question now: is can he get over the hump? Because
he's got to live with that, right?
Yeah.
And he may not ever get over the hump. I think he can, but the issue is how many more opportunities is he ever going to have?
Right.
You know what I mean? Those opportunities that have came up, they just don't keep coming up, you know? So we'll see. All-Star game, buddy. All right, so let's go back to the All-Star weekend, right? What did you think about the Saturday festivities?
I'm gonna be nice. I thought that the Steph and Sabrina, however you say her name, that shootout was dope. I thought that was dope. I felt like the 3-point contest was cool. Even the skills. I think everything was for Saturday night. I think it was pretty cool until you got to the dunk contest, right? And I saw people trying to blame LeBron. I saw Stephen A. say something about LeBron, and it's his fault. I kind of get I get a point. I get what he's saying, but I it's easy to blame LeBron. I just thought the dunk contest sucked.
So I felt like it was one clear-cut winner, and I felt like the judges might have been, and it just might have been me. I thought Jaylen Brown's dunks were just okay. Like I didn't see.
I guess if you want to say okay, I think they were. I would have. I could have done without Jalen. I mean, I'm glad that he did it, but
I mean, it was a star, brought star power to it or whatnot, and
trash.
Well, it's one of those things with the dunk contest. They go back and forth to where, okay, should it be there? Does it need to come back? And it's getting to the point that, they've done all sort of gimmicks with the will.
They better never bring that back. That was the absolute worst idea ever.
It was the worst idea. So I appreciate the dunk contest, but I think it's getting tougher to just come up with different dunks without putting the gimmicks in it.
I feel that. Nah, I get that, and I feel like with the dunk contest, I think we need the guys. I think if Ja Morant is healthy enough next year, we need him in the dunk contest. Some of these the Jalen Greens, or some of these young gunners that could jump out the gym. I mean, the problem is, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? I personally think that the problem is, in regards to the dunk contest, is that the guys that can really, really jump out the gym aren't really like superstars. So you may get like four young guns, but it's gonna be like, you ain't really gonna. It's still gonna be like, because you're probably not seeing them play on a regular. So it's not like Kobe. We saw Kobe. We knew, or Vince Carter. Vince Carter was a superstar. He was jumping out the gym in high school or college. Everybody saw him in North Carolina, and he was doing it throughout the season. The year he was there.
So that's the key, right there, and that's what's missing. And I didn't think about it until you said it.
Mm-hmm.
We're missing the in-game dunkers that kind of build you up with that hype. I mean, like Vince breakaway, like you didn't know what he was going to do.
Yep.
His dunks was going to be on a Sports Center.
Yep.
Kobe had his run with it. MJ. There are moments, they were in the dunk contest and they were eventual champions, but you got to know them as dunkers to where you like, you know what? Don't get caught slipping with Vince Carter.
Right. I agree.
Don't get caught slipping with Kobe. And they weren't just dunking on people. It was like, ooh.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that was the
and especially now with the way social media is, if you got an in-game dunk, you're gonna be seen somehow, some way. It's gonna be all over your feed. You're gonna see it on Sports Center. You're gonna see it on all these other shows. I feel like we don't really have that one superstar who can take. So it don't even necessarily have to be a superstar. I'll give you an example, right? Me personally, I feel like the dunk contest took a turn for the worse when they screwed that he plays in Denver now. Aaron Gordon. When they screwed Aaron Gordon twice, it was a wrap for the dunk contest, because it was gonna be like, now he says, I ain't doing this no more. I'm not doing this no more.
That might be the best example of the last guy that was posterized.
Yeah, Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon.
Those were their battles were classic, right? It was because they were doing things you hadn't seen. You may have seen it. They put their sort of flair on it, right? So right now,
Zach LaVine made me start tuning into the Bulls a little bit more because of the dunk contest.
And that happens, right? So Richard Dumas, it was one of those. I guess I don't even know. I don't know who that is, but I'll say this. I don't think the dunk contest should go anywhere. I think that they need to. It doesn't necessarily have to be a superstar, but they need to find dunkers that are going to make the dunks on the first go around. Right. That's another problem. You got guys missing like crazy. So they need to find guys that's going to make the dunks on the first go round, and they need to have some sort of flash. You can't just be a boring. Here's the thing. I don't want to see you jump over somebody anymore, right? If you're going to jump over somebody, do a damn 360 while you're jumping over that motherfucker. I don't want to see nobody just dunk over Shaq. Oh, okay, I don't care about that. That is been there, done that. Yeah, I don't want to see that no more. Right. And then not to mention you're using Shaq to get up higher, so it's like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think the dunk contest needs to go anywhere, but I do think that they need to get the good dunk. And I would bring Matt McClung back, right? Mainly because, keep him there until somebody beat him. If he wins 4 dunk contests in a row, bring him back for a 5th and bring back somebody. And I did hear an idea of getting street dunkers, like the street ballers that dunk, and getting, and pair them against like NBA guys. So maybe like 4 NBA guys, 4 street dunkers, and now you have money involved. And one thing I know that NBA guys don't want to get shown up by are guys that aren't in the NBA, right? They don't want to get shown up by some street ball guy.
Or to your point, maybe you get extended, right? So, Craig Hodges, our good buddy, I believe one of the times when he won the 3-point contest, he wasn't on the team.
Correct. Right after he won, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that, we change rules all the time.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what's needed, right? Because that's what's missing is the hungry aspect of the competition.
The competition of the competition. Yeah.
You saw it in the 3-point contest to where those guys legitimately wanted to win.
Right.
And it was star-studded. You had guys that were really competing.
Mm-hmm.
And the dunk contest is kind of like, yeah, we're here. I'll do it just to say that I did it.
Right.
So I do got one thing about Jaylen Brown. Your bro said that he's the mustiest player, man.
That's tough.
That was tough, man.
That's tough. I mean,
it is what it is, right?
Yeah. Damn.
We couldn't breathe. I saw that. I was like,
that's cold blooded. But
it's like the worst thing you like.
Yeah, don't call me musty, dog. Hey, I make sure I be putting on too much deodorant. Hey, that's one thing nobody's gonna say. Yo, Aunt Musty. Nah, dog. I got on weight. I still got deodorant on. See.
If somebody is saying you're musty during a basketball game, you have to be killing. So look. So I would use that as an opportunity from Jaylen Brown to make some money. He can go to right guard or Old Spice.
That is true. That might have been an alley-oop right there. So hey, listen, and listen. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm like, I don't care. I'm making $300 million.
Oh yeah,
I don't care. Yeah. So let's go to the All-Star game before we get out of here. What do you? What are your thoughts on the All-Star game?
So, I thought, just lackadaisical effort. It just, typical. 200 points.
That one was crazy I was like, I wonder if the West could get to 200 too, and they couldn't. But
yeah, it's one of those things where I get it if you're a player, you don't want to really get hurt out there, and you want to put on a good show for the fans. But I really think that it's lost. You don't really have real rivalries anymore, and that's what is missing is the East. I felt like when Jordan and them were playing, it was like, nah, we don't like those guys on the West, and we don't like each other. But we're going to figure out how.
Could be. No. Yeah, I agree. But here's the thing, man. I get it. In regards to, you don't want to get hurt, but at some point you got to care about the fans, and if the numbers are down, you gotta fix. Did you see the commissioner? He was so disgusted with what he said, because I thought it was one of the worst things I ever watched. Like it was just, to me, it was like bad TV. It was just terrible to watch. It wasn't even like the energy in the building sucked. It was like a bad watch. And I feel like I think sometimes you gotta switch it up, right? When they switched it up a few years ago and did like the captains and they picking teams, and then every quarter starts over, and then that fourth quarter is we going at it, because now you got a number that you got to reach. I thought that was more competitive because at least you're getting a quarter of some competitive type stuff. Right now, I think they're just going through the motions, and it's a bad watch. So they have to do something because it's going to get to the point where nobody's going to be watching it, and the NBA is $1 billion business. Like
it was to the point to where I didn't even really want to watch it. I already knew what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, Sunday I tuned in. Now I was interested in the Saturday festivities.
Saturday was good. Yeah, Saturday was good.
But the Sunday is just, I mean,
if I don't want it to get to the point where how the NFL they pretty much switched it, got to flag football. That is actually I actually like watching that joint. That's pretty cool. And you can tell because they're competing and they're having fun, but I don't think that they're not having fun like the players. I think they are. They're having a good time being around each other. But I do feel like as the fans, because you didn't even hear no oohs and ahs, because they're playing no defense like at all. Like it does look like how the Pro Bowl looked the last few years that it was around. They're playing no defense, and it's a terrible watch.
So let me ask you something. We're midway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we got some challenges out east with some of the teams just, filling at the right time. But you look at the West, and you got Minnesota, that's number 1, and you got OKC, that's number 2.
Oh, where did the Clippers fall to?
The Clippers, the Suns,
the
Mavs, and it's one other team. They're all kind of like.
Is it the Kings?
It might be the Kings, but they're all kind of like in the same boat to where like if they start winning some more games, it'll change. Golden State has kind of pulled themselves back into the play in. You got the Pelicans just like right there, so it's a lot of basketball. But right now, if Minnesota just continues to play on the trend that they're playing on, they're going to have home field or home court advantage.
Right.
Are you surprised by that? Because I am extremely surprised.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised by it, but I don't think that any of these other teams fear Minnesota. Now, Anthony Edwards he's an absolute dog. And I tell you what, I know people laughed at, them getting Gobert and pairing him with Karl Anthony Towns. They look like all the pieces fit, right? And so, if the teams, I know I heard some people say
about Denver too.
Yeah, and Denver's like the 4th seed right now. Yeah. But if I'm these other teams in the West, I would start being concerned with the Minnesota Timberwolves because they're clearly well coached. And they got some studs because Karl Anthony Towns, I think he had 50 in the All-Star game, right?
Yeah, 50.
So I mean, listen, 50 is hard to get in the gym by yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
you really got to watch Dallas too. They made some key additions that I think is going to pan out for them.
We're gonna see. It's close because they're the 7th seed, but they're only 1 game back of the Pelicans, who are the 6th seed. And shout out to Zion for I don't think he's missed that many games this year. So shout out to him. So I'm excited about the second half of the season. I think that the second half of the season is going to be pretty entertaining because I want to know what's going to happen with the Buccaneers. With the Milwaukee Bucks.
And that was the next question I was going to ask you, right? So you got Doc Rivers. They hired him.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they're like 3-10 since he took over or something crazy like that.
Right. I ain't really concerned about that because the Clippers were struggling when Harden first got there, and then they went on a run. I think that the Bucks are too good of a team not to start going on a run.
Clippers is probably the most dangerous team. So I get that Minnesota and OKC are there.
Mm-hmm.
What's dangerous about the Clippers is you got all that star power,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a position where you don't need James Harden to go out there and necessarily win you a game come playoff time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
As long
as they can stay healthy, and
yeah,
and Lou is doing a tremendous job coaching. I mean, he's
working his way to get Coach of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but Scott, you got a battle, and I know we cutting the show short a little bit, and that's okay. That's okay. We were gone last week. We'll be back next week. May have a guest or two, but yeah, man. I think we're done here. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
What's Scotty B?
We out of here.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo, and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B.